We are go for launch in T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
You could have just done
5.
a 3, 2, 1, couldn't
So,
you?
you can't interrupt cancel the launch. Cancel the
It's got to start
launch.
again now.
At five, you have to ignite the solid booster engines. Come on. Right.
Is this required to start a podcast, though? Do we need booster engines for the podcast?
I think you need booster engines for anything, really. But
Anything, like making cheese on toast?
cheese on toast. I mean, imagine how quick you could make cheese on toast
With a booster engine.
with a solid
Wouldn't
rocket
you
booster.
burn
Be
it?
very crispy.
No, if you just like kind of, flash it across.
If you just flash it, someone runs past the rocket booster with cheese on toast,
Yeah.
and then it'll be fine, right?
That's going to be Musk's next experiment, isn't it? Never mind going to the moon or Mars. Can you cook cheese on
He
toast?
can happily do that. If he wants to run past a rocket engine that's on, then I will not stop him.
There's nothing worse than burnt toast, particularly
Nothing
when you're
worse.
talking cheese
And
on
then
toast.
And then it smells for like 5 years. It
Yeah, there's
smells
a reason
like
you
burnt
smell that when
toast
you're having a
forever.
stroke, because
Yeah.
it's terrible.
It's the
That-
worst
that
thing you've
tells you
ever
how-
smelled.
It's a brain aneurysm. It's a brain aneurysm that
What
causes
is-
the burning smell.
I thought it was a stroke.
Maybe you always smell burnt toast when bad things are going to happen. Like if you shit yourself, you smell burnt toast. If you know, any
Before
kind
you
of
shit yourself, you
terrible
smell
thing.
burnt toast, and then you shit
Yeah.
yourself.
I'm having a stroke. Oh no, I've shit myself. It's fine.
When you burn your toast, do you force your way through it and eat it anyway, just with extra butter on, or do you bin it and start again?
Well, you can scrape the burn off.
Yeah, you can scrape the burn
Yeah, but
off.
then you're
if it's
losing
not
half
that
of the bread.
burnt. If it's super burnt, then there's no point. It depends how far you've gone with the burning.
Talk me through your cheese on toast method, somebody.
How I would make it?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so I get 2 slices of bread. I butter one side of each piece of bread. I get
Right.
the unbuttered side and put the cheese on there, and then the other unbuttered side on top of the cheese, and then the entire thing, butter side down, goes in a frying pan. A few minutes on each side.
Grilled cheese. That's a.
This is a grilled cheese.
though.
This isn't cheese on
That's
toast.
not cheese on toast.
It's
that's
cheese.
A grilled
It's cheese. Well, what's the? Oh,
That's
right.
cheese
do you mean under?
toast.
Do you mean under a grill? So I toast the toast lightly, slice
Yeah.
the cheese on the top, grill, wait for it
Yeah.
to start bubbling, take it out, eat it. Sometimes put a layer of barbecue sauce on it.
Bit of cayenne pepper.
Ignite the solid rocket booster. And then,
Well,
Melt it.
I once went to an ex-girlfriend's house, and it was my first time.
while
going
she was
round
your
to her
ex-girlfriend, or
house. Yeah.
After she was your ex-girlfriend.
Well, you're about to find out why she became my ex-girlfriend. So I went round there. First time I'd ever been.
Speak chronologically. At this point, when you went to this person's house, was this your girlfriend?
Yes, it was.
You said
Brand
yes
new.
before I'd finished the question.
Brand new girlfriend. How long?
Honeymoon period. Absolutely. First time I've been round to a house.
Yeah,
this
it's
was
pretty early.
brand new. This was infancy.
Did you poke her several times on Facebook?
She's never been on Facebook. She was never
Was
right
this
for the moment.
pre-Facebook?
She doesn't
It is.
exist.
No, it's not pre-Facebook.
Did she go to another
It's-
school?
Yeah, she came from another planet.
You talk.
As you're about to find out.
Okay, right. Go on then. Go on.
So I went round there. Bear in mind that she was considerably older than me as well. So this can't be
Milf.
put down to youthful exerance. So I went round to her house for the first.
Was
ever
this the
time.
halitosis person?
No.
This is a
this
proper
is
old
different.
lady. Is this an old lady? Were you
Would you like
14
some cheese on
and you
toast,
went round to an
Samuel?
old lady's house? Sam, what happened? Tell us.
You get
So
a
I went
gummy.
round and we were watching some film. She was like, "Do you want something to eat?" I said, "Yeah." I'll
What
have
film were you
something to
watching? Because I can't believe you were still awake at this point. But carry on.
It's called
You're watching a film.
Charade. It's a film called Charade.
Never
No
heard
wonder
of
you.
it. Was it good?
Just for context, listeners, Sam falls asleep watching any film, so that's where the joke.
Any
Inside
film.
reference.
97% of films I will
All
fall asleep
films.
during.
All
Or
films.
walk out of them early because they
Yeah.
annoy me.
Well, I don't know
One or
why
the
you
other.
even try and watch them.
To impress his ex-girlfriend.
It would seem to to an outsider, it would seem like you don't enjoy movies.
From an insider, it seems like that.
It seems like what you enjoy is sleeping.
Yeah, I do like that.
I do enjoy sleeping.
So maybe that should be a choice of instead of watching a movie, just I'm just going to go to sleep.
I'll tell you what, I've never got bored mid-sleep and woke up to watch a
Exactly.
movie.
That's a really valid
woke-
point. That.
You get bored mid-sleep, wake up, and be like, I'm watching a movie. I'm watching
Yeah.
a movie.
Anyway. Right.
Anyway,
so
the
you've
cheese
gone
on
to the old
toast
lady's
incident.
house. She's offered you a cheese toast. You ask, what?
Would you like some food, dear?
Can you just pause, Shara? Then you go, well, you can't because Sky TV don't exist yet because this is like 1995 or something.
Can we also just clarify that she wasn't that old? She
No,
was
she
older
was.
than me.
She was. She made you cheese
You
and toast.
said
Yeah.
significantly older, and
She
that
wasn't
means
I was significantly younger though at the time.
this is
How old
not
were
a
you?
good story.
Right. How old was the
I never
person?
said it was.
How old
How
were you?
old
How
were
old was
you?
the ex-girlfriend?
She was 29 at the time.
And how
you
old were
were?
you?
21.
That's not significantly older.
Well, it's
If you
9
were 12,
years.
if you were 12 and she was 60, fair enough. Significantly
9
older.
years, Sam. Are you Benson?
Well, it's around 9 years. She was
It's
about-
around 9 years.
I'm rounding down, rounding up.
Okay.
You could have done
I'm timesing by 10.
You were one out, and you're like, well,
Where
it's
does
around
10 come
there.
from?
So the
Yeah,
29-year-old that went from another planet doesn't have halitosis. We've confirmed that.
No.
Good for her. What happened next then?
So, round at her house, and she's like, are you hungry? I said, yes. She said, do you want something to eat? And I'm also quite funny about eating at other people's houses for the first time. But anyway, I said yes, and she said, do you fancy some cheese on toast? And I said, of course I do. It's fucking cheese on toast. It's one of the greatest inventions and meals. I didn't say that. I just said, yes, please.
Yes, please, old lady.
So, yeah.
I'm only 29. You're significantly older than me. And for some reason at 21, I've got this child's voice. Oh. Can we watch Willy Wonka?
Did you just start calling her your significantly older other? Is that what happened?
That's how I introduced her to people.
Oh, this is my significantly older person. Right, go on.
Yeah, so she went to the kitchen and came back with some cheese on toast, which was cheese on toast. So she'd made some toast and then cut some slices of cheese and just plonked
Raw
them.
cheese.
Cold cheese on the toast.
I like raw
Hard
cheese.
cheese
And I like toast, but
on
not to
toast.
You might as well just add a cracker. You might as
Straight
well
from the fridge,
You might-
sliced and laid upon the toast. No melting had happened.
Why not?
So the toast was still
Was the
quite
toast
warm.
buttered?
No.
So
The,
this
to-
was dry.
the toast was still quite warm, and obviously the cheese directly from the fridge.
But
was
people
still
put
quite
cheese
cold.
on Melba toast.
Yeah, but that's a bit of a different story.
It's still dry.
That's
though,
not
isn't
cheese on toast, though.
it? There's cheese on Melba toast. It's one word different, significantly different, isn't it?
Yeah.
So after this, where did
I
they
didn't mention it. I was just sat there thinking, this is weird.
Did you eat the dry cheese on toast?
I did. Yeah.
Was it horrible?
I mean, it was cheese and it was toast, so it was all right. But it wasn't what I was
Did
expecting.
I would have folded the toast up around the cheese. And
Yeah,
eaten
when
it
I was
like
on a
that.
promise for cheese on toast, that's not what I got. I did literally get cheese on toast, but as you
you got a
mentioned, it needs to be
literal-
returned to the grill for melting. That needs to.
Do you
You
think-
didn't mention it. Did you not say it?
Do you think? Do you
No,
think she
never.
still eats it like that to this day?
Absolutely.
Did
she
you
does.
ever did you ever correct her that
No, I never corrected
never?
her.
So she might
Never.
just be completely ignorant and think that's how you make
I bet,
cheese
I
on
bet
toast.
she eats pizza the same way.
You could have taught her something.
She might have had several failed relationships since, all down to the cheese on toast thing.
You, Sam, failed the cheese on toast. You had a chance there. You had
Straight
an
to jail.
opportunity.
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail. Straight to jail. You
It's in
failed.
the infancy.
You failed the cheese on toast.
You don't start correcting your new girlfriend on a cheese and toast.
You do. You correct them on
Making
everything and set
prowess.
the tone early on.
Oh, do you, Benson? Should we get your other half on and ask if that's
No.
if that's what you-
She's right about everything. She's
beat the fuck
right
out of him.
every single way. She's in the room next door. So, so I'm concerned now though that if this person, your ex-girlfriend, senile person, without halitosis person,
Is she still alive?
if she's
I don't know.
I reckon she'll get like a pizza and she won't melt the cheese on that. Everything that requires melted cheese. This
So like
person's eating blocked
cook
cheese.
the dough, the pizza base, and then put the cheese
and then put a
on.
block. Yeah. See, I once had a bird. I think you're like at a football
Were you going to
match.
say a bucket of cheese then?
Of cheese.
Who?
You.
No.
I've thought cheese and then put the of cheese on. I'm sure
bucket
you
of
could-
cheese.
A bucket of cheese.
A
Block.
book of cheese.
Oh, block.
Oh,
a block.
block.
Yeah, I heard book. Yeah.
Oh, the book of cheese. The cheese book.
Consult the book of cheese.
Why don't
Verse
you tell
4.
cheese in book?
Blessed
Chapter
be
3.
the cheesemakers.
And the Lord brought out the Edam, and the Edam was good.
That's how they should sell multiple singles. Just a book and you just tear one out.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Put it on. That'd be nice. Then you'd get the bookend at the end.
Oh,
The bigger, thicker bit.
but yeah. This,
Anyway, I need to hang on. I need to stop everything right now.
Why are you
because
stopping everything?
What's happening right now is clearly the podcast, and I haven't introduced it or anything. We got very caught up.
We were having a discussion.
well, we need to go back from the countdown.
Right, let's go through.
Okay.
Let's go through the countdown again, and then we can actually start the episode properly.
Okay,
'cause
right, let's
this
do
is the longest cold open we've ever done, I think.
This is Houston Mission Control. We're ready for launch now. We're going to start countdown at T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7. Somebody melt the cheese on the toast. 6, 5. Halitosis. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Change at the engine.
Hello, humans, and welcome along to Killer Rabbit Podcast. I'm your host, Sam. You've just heard a very long intro from us. Sorry about that. Sorry for not introducing the podcast earlier, but here we are. This is the podcast. It's the number one alternative news podcast in the world, according to... according to my ex-girlfriend, who was terrible at making cheese on toast. Welcome along. I'm going with the hello humans thing. That's it.
I like
I've
it.
decided
I'm
after
down.
last
I
week.
heard it.
That's
I acknowledge it. It was
Yeah,
great.
I'm the hello humans guy.
That's
That's
it
me
now.
now. Hey, he's
Hello
that guy that
humans.
says hello humans. What a card. That's what people say.
What
They
a
call me
card!
They
like
call me a card.
moonpig card or cardboard.
Have you never heard that saying before?
No,
Is this
never.
If
a new
somebody
thing
if
to
somebody
you?
called me a card,
not heard
I would
it.
call them a cunt. Who you calling a
Such a
card?
card.
What?
You can't.
You're such a card. I've
You've
not
never
heard
heard
that,
that?
before. Where's it?
You've not heard what a card?
Sam, you're making it up. You're making it up like a
And I've
cheese and
pretty
toast
sure
sold the
you're
story.
book of
making it
cheese, yeah.
Blessed be the cheesemaker on day 3.
You carry on between
Why don't you introduce us?
those.
You selfish card.
He's only
Oh, you're right, yeah.
introduced me, hasn't he? How did you
What is it?
introduce me?
No, he
I
ain't
don't
introduced
know,
shit.
actually.
He's introduced himself. Going, oh, look at
now
me.
now he's playing on his phone.
I'm the card that
Did I
says
not
hello
introduce
humans.
you? Oh, there's Benson Adamir as well, look there.
Fuck you.
Oh, you're going to get a slap right in the...
Through the
Tush.
internet, an internet slap.
Yeah.
I'm perturbed by the fact that none of you have heard that. Etymology of card referring to an eccentric person. Do you want to hear the etymology? Or should we just move on?
Let's move on.
Apologise.
The earliest recorded use of card in this sense was in an 1836 work by Dickens called Sketches by Boz, in which he referred to someone as a knowing card. There you
Average
go.
moments in history.
No, you can't do that because the whole idea of great moments in history is that they are average
No,
moments.
they're not. They're great moments. Last time you talked about a dance-off that happened for like 4 years. That's not average.
That's a pretty great moment.
It's significant. It's a significant moment in history. Never mind great.
You're loving significant today. I mentioned that once and that's been recycled. So
Yeah, too right. We're significantly better as a podcast than anyone else. But you did confirm that we are the number one alternative news podcast. That has been ratified, business word, by Joe Lycett because we didn't get done.
Have we not
Didn't get
talked about
licensed.
this? We
No.
haven't. Yeah, we did. We did not get licitized, did we?
We didn't get liced.
License.
Licitized.
Yeah,
didn't get
we didn't
judged.
licitized at all.
So everything we've said is factual. Significantly factual.
We did a whole story and I cut it out of the podcast because
Because
I
you
thought, oh,
thought
we're going
we
to
were gonna
get
get
double
got.
Joed.
Should we
single
go back in time and add that story in here?
We could do, but it was a bit boring. That's the main reason I took it out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
let's not. It's a silly idea.
Okay.
it is a silly idea.
There's not
Must
going to be
never
any.
revisit the past.
There's no rewinding sound effect here.
No.
But yeah,
no.
I'm proud of us picking only the stories that were not only ridiculous but true facts.
True
true
real
stories.
journalists. Us.
We fact
I am
hunted
journalism.
ourselves.
We did. We hunted the facts and we presented them in story form.
That's it. It's
well
'cause
done, everybody.
We're fact hunt pros. That's how we just
Pros.
know now.
Well
we
done.
don't fuck about.
Well
You can tell a
fucking
fact
done.
from 2 miles away.
Yeah, we are the Ferrari of the fact hunting world. can sniff them out.
I can follow a
find
trail,
them,
a
and
fact
present
trail.
them to you.
What Ferraris are sniffing things out in your world?
Yeah.
Well,
What?
no, it's that we are the Ferraris of the fact hunting world.
Okay.
We're pretty good. We're top of the tree.
I'd say you're more the Vauxhall
Top of the,
Corsa.
there's a tree now. The Ferrari's in the tree.
Yeah, it's with a card.
I'm mixing metaphors, okay?
You are really. You're going full metaphorical.
Metal 4.
It's good to mix metaphors. One metaphor is not enough. You need to get lost
need
in a
a-
world.
Meta
Come with
5.
me, and you'll see a world of lots of metaphors.
What are you going to rhyme with metaphors with? Metaphors again, because that's what the song does.
Oh God! Don't bring that up.
I knew that was going to hook, line, and
songs
sphincter.
rhyming words with words.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
that's
one
annoying,
thing that really winds me up. You're not allowed to rhyme words with the same word in
Let's
songs.
sing War Pigs.
Well, I'm going to say War Pigs does it. Black masses.
What does War Pigs do it with?
Black masses and black
Generals
masses.
gather in their masses, just like witches at black masses.
But you've got to remember this guy was on a
Two
lot of
fucking
cocaine.
lines, man.
He definitely forgot the first line when he wrote the second line.
It's the same in Pure Imagination, though. They use it in the first verse as well. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Reach out, touch what was once just in your imagination. It later goes on to use things like trepidation and explanation. You could have used those in the first verse. You don't wanna
Recommendation.
lose- Yeah,
It doesn't
absolutely. Pitbull rhymes Kodak with Kodak.
say that. I wonder how much
There's
he got paid
lots
for that.
of lots of other words you could
Yeah,
have
it's
rhymed with
really bad.
Kodak.
But it's rife. It happens a lot of the time, and sometimes you don't notice it until someone points it out.
Yeah, Robbie Williams uses it in Rock DJ. I believe he rhymes body with body. And yeah, it's just not good enough, is it really?
Yeah, Queen never did this.
Oh no.
They did rhyme you with you in We Will Rock You. But
I've just looked up the Rock DJ lyrics and he rhymes everybody with body, so it's technically a different word.
It's
but
not-
it's the
it's
same
not.
rhyme, isn't it?
it's not.
It's the
It's
same
not allowed.
rhyme.
It
It's
is
two
not allowed.
syllables, so it counts as the same.
Oh
rhyme.
no, because later on he does rhyme the word body with body.
Oh,
So he goes
you're
everybody. He rhymes everybody with body and body with body.
You were significantly right there. Well done.
What a busy body. What a
Hey,
bloody
hey,
busy
just
body
bloody silly, yeah.
bastard.
We would never write a song with rhyming the same word, would we?
We would not. We would rip it up and start again because I would not allow that.
Well,
What
it's
if the
significantly
song?
not allowed.
What if the song just had one word in it, like tequila?
It's a good point.
That's fun though, isn't it? That's
No.
fun.
That's just
Da,
fun.
da, 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 da.
That reminds me of the first Turtles movie.
Why? What did they rhyme it with?
No, they didn't rhyme it with anything. It was just used in the
Hey, have you
first
seen?
Turtles movie.
Not that we talk about movies much. Have you seen they're going to be bringing out a rated R Turtles movie?
Oh yeah, saw that.
Like Sexy Turtles.
No, not sexy.
Not Sexy Turtles.
Sam, why did you? No, more like cutting people up and beheading people. Not sexy.
I want
Well, he
Sexy
doesn't-
Turtles.
You want?
The powers that be at Paramount have all started taking acid, and they have gone mental with what they're bringing out, like in the next couple of years.
In Sam's version, the poor actress that plays April O'Neil is going to be fucking traumatized at the end of it.
Getting absolutely turtled.
Oh, she'd be so turtled. She'll be covered in shell.
I enjoyed the new Turtles movie. The
Which
Mutant Mayhem, whatever it's called.
Did you watch it?
one? Oh,
Was
the
it
animated
Cheezel
one,
Turtles?
not the Michael Bay
Yeah.
ones. Then
No, not them. I've not watched that shit. The newest one. I fell asleep during it, of course, but
Oh,
up until
God.
that point,
I enjoyed it, but then I fell asleep. So
When do you start your film? Do you watch them at like 11 p.m? Because that
Yeah,
might be
yeah,
a
watch 'em.
problem.
why did you watch them at
Yeah.
11 p.m.?
If you watch them at 6 p.m, you might be all right.
I
it's the
watched.
best way to send me to sleep.
I watched an hour-long thing today with our James before this because that's a good spot for it.
That's a good spot. That's a hot spot for watching something. Yeah.
That's a good watching hotspot.
Yeah.
After this is not really unless when we finish you kind of sit down and you start something then, so it finishes around 11. But if you're starting it at 11, then you're fucking setting yourself on fire, mate. It's your own fault.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. It's not that bad falling asleep. There's no danger. There's no
Well,
risk
there
of-
is
of death.
people die in the
There's
sleep.
loads of
so
danger. Sleeping is dangerous.
Sleeping is dangerous.
Depends where you fall asleep, I guess.
In your house, maybe it might be dangerous. What if your roof was caving in and you didn't realise because you were asleep? What if there's a
Well,
fire?
even if I was
and you're
awake,
asleep?
I'm not going to get away from that. I'm just going to cave in. I'm going to be like, oh shit.
You'll
Well, you heard
see
it
it.
creaking.
You'll see it if you're awake. You'll be like, "Oh, that's fucking cracking. I'm going to move."
He's got a valid point here, Sam.
Yeah,
It's significantly valid.
Significant.
Stop saying significantly when you didn't even use it very well there.
It was so significant. The use of significantly there was significant to that
You're
sentence.
such a card. Such a card.
You're a fucking
That's the
you're a
worst. To call it what a card is like. It's like middle of the road. All I imagine is a white A4 piece of card, like the most bog standard, basic fucking thing. You are a card.
And it means the exact opposite
yeah,
to
no, but it just sounds like it should just mean just boring and bland.
Yeah,
You're
and
a
then could
fucking
it be could you be cardish? Oh, it's a bit cardish him.
No.
Why
You
not?
can
Why?
only be a card.
Why not? Are you making the rules up now?
Yeah. Well, no.
You're making the rules with
Yes.
your made up word.
If a card means someone who's eccentric, then cardish would mean you'd have eccentric tendencies, right? But not
No, I
fully.
think
You're
cardish
not-
means what you were talking about. If you say someone's cardish, then they're just like
No,
boring
cardish.
and mundane.
Cardish, they're a bit quirky,
Cardish
but they're
would
not
be
full
just a bit
eccentric.
quirky, but not full. Like I can handle you for more than an hour.
You're only slightly eccentric.
That's
a
what I'm
bit of
saying,
an
yeah.
oxymoron, isn't it?
Yeah.
Slightly eccentric. I don't think you can
You're a
have
tad
that.
eccentric. You're not significantly eccentric.
People can be a tad eccentric. You've got like Dr. Frankenstein, and then he's a tad eccentric. And then you've got Jekyll and Hyde, like full blown card.
It'd be like if Willy Wonka just goes home and just quietly does his taxes or something.
Puts
like
his
that.
Well,
slippers on.
I imagine he has to at
Smokes up.
some point.
He never did his fucking taxes.
You can't
that
run
guy.
a sweet factory without doing your fucking taxes.
A chocolate factory. You
Oh,
can,
sorry, chocolate, because the gobstopper is chocolate.
There was some gobstopperage. There was some gobstopperage.
And there was a
That's very
chewing
true.
gum. There was chewing gum as well.
And
Yeah.
there was that little knobbly one.
And lots of
Yes, it
lollipops.
was. That was the everlasting.
the everlasting
I
gobstopper.
always wanted that. I
Oh,
always
that's
wanted
the everlasting
knobbly one.
gobstopper. Yeah, I want.
Yeah.
that. But
then-
yeah, it was definitely a sweet factory rather than just chocolate. It had a chocolate river in it.
A confectionery factory.
Yeah, well, confectionery.
Oh,
factory,
yeah, Willy
but it's a
Wonka
bit
and the
of a mouthful,
Confectionery
that.
Factory. That sounds like a right film/book, doesn't it? Charlie,
card.
would you like my confectionery factory? Oh, by the way, you have to do taxes because it's a confectionery factory, not a chocolate factory.
Because I'm Cardish. I'm only Cardish, so you need to do your taxes.
If you watch the start, well, not the start, like 30 minutes into the film where they're in the imagination room for pure imagination, nobody actually eats chocolate in there besides the chocolate river. Everything is confectionery. Yeah, it's all candy at that
It's
point.
candy.
The chocolate river looked shit as well. It looked like really.
I mean,
weak-
chocolate generally
weak
looks like shit. It's the
chocolate.
same
Here's
colour.
here's a little factoid for you then. So they actually used chocolate to make the river in the first
But
film.
didn't it
and it
make
went
it
rancid.
stink? Yeah,
It
it
went
went rancid.
And because the studios were hot as well, so they all had to work in pretty dire.
Yeah, they used to use them proper
diarrhea conditions.
Diarrhea
school
conditions.
white.
But it didn't look appealing, did it? It didn't. It just looked like brown water. Brown
It look-
water.
yeah, but in your imagination, you're imagining it's chocolate, and then you're like, I want.
Oh,
a river
that was
of
his get out free card, was it?
It's mixing the water and it's chocolate.
Just if you think it looks shit, just use your imagination and pretend that it looks.
Now let's get on this boat, and everybody, if you could put the acid tab under your tongue, that'd be excellent because it's going to really help the boat experience.
Well, that's what was in all the candy. They didn't need it under the tongue. They're just eating all the acid.
Oh, shit.
Excuse me, Willie. Did you just rhyme imagination with imagination? Nope, I didn't.
Use your
Are you sure?
Just
Use your
pushes
imagination.
him
Oh,
overboard.
Willie, you
Nope.
card.
Sam goes on the tour. Nah, mate.
Augustus Gloop corrected him on the fact that he can't rhyme imagination with imagination. Next thing you know, he's getting shafted up a pipe.
Sorry, he's getting what happened to him? This was a different film to the one that I watched.
Benson, he went up the pipe and then he got shafted when he got to the Oompa Loompas.
Can we stop saying Augustus Gloop got shafted up the pipe?
The Oompa
please?
Loompas shafted Augustus Gloop. The proper full-on shafted him.
That's what was happening in back rooms.
Is this the R-rated version, like the Turtles thing you're on about? This is the sexy version.
No, this is the PG version.
It's the Tarantino version. All the Oompa Loompas are barefoot.
After a 30-minute conversation between Charlie and Wonka about absolutely nothing.
No music in the background.
Do you know what they call dairy milk in France?
Right. A few weeks back, you both passed on verbal feedback to myself and in front of the listeners that I wasn't being Benson enough on the podcast. Do you remember saying
Yeah,
that?
where have you put the real Benson? I think you're Bensonito in disguise.
The good news is...
we've not seen Bensonito in a while, have we? Well, what have you done with him? What have you done with your lovely Italian cousin?
When we went remote, because remember he lives at Adams at Casa del Chase. So when we went remote, I left him.
Oh, did
there.
I leave him there?
Yeah.
But Adam's left there now.
Yeah, no,
he's just in your old house with a new
Maybe.
tenant.
Shit.
Yeah, Bensonito's
He was
just
looking after
living
Bensonito.
living the dream.
He whips up a mean pasta dish, though, so maybe the person that he's living with has come to grow
It melts his
fond
cheese.
of his ways.
It
He
definitely
does melt
melts
his
his
cheese.
He melts his cheese and his shafts is Augustus. No, that's not right.
What?
I'm getting segments mixed up. So Bensonito might come back one day. But anyway, so I became aware of it then. So I thought, you know what? The world should have... This is very self-centered, but the world needs a bit more Benson. So what I've done is I've put together a bit of a segment, which is... I haven't got an official name yet. I think I'm going to call it Benservations. And it's essentially my observations of the world, my shower thoughts. So imagine shower thoughts in general, but from my mind. That's essentially...
That makes me think more of reservations, like...
Well, that's it. I'm just going to ring... I'm just going to...
I've got reservations about the name because it makes me think of reservations rather than observations.
I'm just going to ring a load of restaurants and book tables. Benservations.
That sounds like a
sounds
great
hilarious.
segment. Let's do that.
it
Get your
is.
phone out.
Ask questions to the people. Right, I'll get a number. You're gonna.
You can't false book anywhere now because they take your card details and a deposit. So
And then you get shot if you don't turn up. Don't you?
and
They come round your house.
You get raw cheese on toast.
Oh
So-
God, no.
So anyway, the segment's kind of... I've got a theme for everything. It's going to be just a thought of mine.
If you've not brought a fucking theme, you need to improvise one immediately.
Okay.
Go.
Well, I don't know the official name of it yet.
That's a really bad theme, mate.
What about showering with Benson? Showered in Benson.
Is it your thoughts?
It's like my thought. It's my observations or my thoughts on why is that the way it is. Maybe I don't know.
How about what's Ben's on my mind?
Perfect. Well done. You see that, listeners? That is how we do this. What's on my... What did you call it?
What's Ben's on my mind?
What's
Ben's on my
mind?
Ben's not Bent. No, Ben.
What's Ben's
Just
on
call
my
it
mind?
Benservations.
What's Ben's
Jesus.
on my mind?
So the
What's
name
Ben's on my mind?
might change in the future, but for now,
We'll workshop it.
we all get the
It's
idea,
fine.
right?
Can we call it What a Card?
What a card. Carding with Benson. Shafted by Benson. I don't know.
Let's hear the theme then. Here we go. So this is a brand new segment introduced by this theme.
Da-da-da-da-da. Observations with Benson. Anyway. So
It was pure genius.
It was.
Absolute genius. I've never heard anything like it.
wait till I get to this fucking segment. It's going to be even more genius. So
Maybe one day.
I thought
As-
this was the segment.
I
as you
thought
both
we were
know-
on a
Tearing apart
segment
the
already,
segment.
but maybe we have to wait for it.
as you
I don't know.
both know, I used to be convinced that every mathematical equation equaled 10. Everything
10.
equals 10. Right?
It's all 10.
You were both very accurate in pointing out that not every mathematical equation equals 10. So I started
Some
studying
do
a bit
not.
more maths. And because the maximum brain capacity I can apply to it is key stage 3 maths level,
Key stage 3.
I practice by creating them kind of questions in my head. So, Peter bought 5 apples kind of thing. Do you get where I'm going with this?
Do you go and buy the apples?
No, I don't go and buy the apples. That's just how I write
Why
the
Who's
not?
question.
Peter?
It's just a name that I made. I know you can't make up names, but that's just a name I've made up.
That's what confused me. I was like,
Does
Okay,
Peter
so-
buy
Peter.
it? Does Peter
No, but
buy the
so
apples?
when you did your GCSEs or whatever they called them in 1842, Sam, when you did it,
11 plus.
1842. How old would that make me, Benson?
How old would that make his ex-girlfriend?
she was actually
She
bought.
did.
So
She so dead.
I practiced maths to make
I mean,
sure.
to be fair, I'm dead.
You would probably be dead as
I
well,
am.
yeah.
What do you mean probably? I was born in 1842.
Look, right, you might have found
Significantly
a
dead.
miracle tonic
You'd have been significantly dead by now.
being sold by some travelling street vendor with a cart, You don't know what happened to
tincture.
1842. Tincture. Some sort of tincture, and now you're still alive. You might have made a deal with the Crossroads demon.
So anyway, besides Sam's revelation that he was born in 1842,
That's not my revelation. This is your revelation.
I've got a reservation
this
about
is your
revelation.
observation, yeah.
Right. So anyway, I do maths questions to test myself to make sure that I can do maths, okay? And I've come across something pretty significant. I'm not even joking about that word. Right. And I hate to tell you this, I think it constitutes as breaking news, but maths is wrong.
Okay.
Maths is wrong.
And I've got an explanation as to why it's wrong, okay?
Okay, well, tell us what led you to knowing that maths is wrong.
I'm going to tell
what's happened here.
So I was using the example of I go and buy 5 sheep. So I now own 5 sheep. And I have these 5 sheep. I have 5 sheep in a room. Okay? I put them in a room. Big room, so they've got plenty of space to run about or whatever. But them 5 sheep are in this room, okay? Are we all with me so far? And I multiply it by 0. Now, maths would suggest that I now have 0 sheep. However, I still have 5 sheep. So I have proven...
Zero's a gun.
Zero's not a gun, an AK-47 is a gun.
Why
Don't be
not?
silly. So... I've times them 5 sheep by 0. I've still got the 5 sheep. They are physically still there in that room, alive, barring
no, but
away.
They've gone to that
Nope.
zero's.
Adam-
That zero's a wormhole. They've all gone through. You see,
They haven't gone through the wormhole.
they have gone through the wormhole.
Okay.
The wormhole of zero. If you divide
Okay.
something by, if you time something by 0, it goes through a wormhole.
Okay,
more a sheep hole.
I've got 5 pens in my pen pot here. And multiply you by 0. They're still there. They're all still
How
there.
do you multiply something in the real world?
How are you physically doing it?
How
Yeah,
are you
well,
physically multiplying?
What do you mean how I'm physically multiplying? I'm just saying it. Once you've said it, it's done. That's how maths works. Anyway.
Okay.
Okay. Multiplying by 0 is bullshit.
No. Let me
That's-
give you something. Let me give you something here. Okay, you've got 5 sheep in a room. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got 5 sheep in a room, and those sheep, after a while, have 5 more sheep. They're multiplied twice, right?
3
Well,
times a sheep.
So we've gone from 5 sheep to 10 sheep because they've multiplied, because they've had babies. Okay, those 5 sheep, different set of 5 sheep in a different room, and they have no babies. Now, 20 years later, how many
No, I'm
sheep?
not talking about. No, you're adding on to it.
No,
right? Maths
no,
is
I'm
instant.
multiplying.
There's another word
Those
for
5
zero.
sheep don't multiply; they die.
Zero.
And there's no
There's
sheep in that
another
room.
word for 0 is nothing, right? So I'm multiplying 5 sheep by nothing, which is 0.
Yeah,
I
they're
still
not
have them
multiplying,
5
so they're
sheep.
dying. There's
No,
no,
but
there's
I'm
no
telling
5
you,
sheep
maths is
more.
broken. I am officially declaring it as Bensovation 1 that maths is now wrong. So I don't need to learn it anymore. Everything equals 10 or 5 sheep. I am not moving on that point.
Everything equals 10 or 5 sheep. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could have gone with 10.
No,
sheep
it's
in your
10.
example.
No, it's the number 10 or 5 sheep. Not 10
Oh,
sheep.
that's the answer to all
Yeah.
maths.
All maths is either 10. So 25 times 2 is 5 sheep. Okay.
But what about 100 times 76?
That's 10.
How
telling
am
you
I meant
this.
to know which is 10 and which is 5 sheep?
You know, that's the whole point of maths. You're not meant to know the answer. Welcome to my world, Adam.
I thought the
never
point
know
of
the
maths
answer.
was there was an answer.
Well, there isn't, because if you multiply 5 things by 0, you've still got them 5 things. It works with apples. Okay,
No,
then.
they rot.
I've got 5
Apples,
blocks of
pens,
lead.
and sheeps.
I've got
That's
5
it.
blocks of lead, which has a half-life of about 250,000 years. I multiply them 5 blocks by 0. I've still got them 5 blocks for at least 250,000 years.
How,
You can't
how many
multiply
years?
lead.
How many years?
250,000.
So not 10 years or 5 sheep years.
No, because that's not maths. If I then divided the
I
5...
think you'll find it is
think
the
you'll
maths,
five
find
my
lead
friend.
blocks,
I
the 5
think-
lead blocks by 250,000, then you've got 10. Just keep up, lads.
It has,
Go, you need to
can't
both
have
go
an
back
answer
to school.
something not being 5 sheep or 10. You said
All
it.
I'm telling you,
that was the
is,
Benson math.
but this is the discrepancy. So the actual Benson
Now we've got
is,
now
is,
we've got 250,000 being used in an answer when the only 2 answers acceptable are 5 sheep or 10.
No, you can
Yeah,
still use
Benson-
numbers.
Benson-
You can still use
Adam,
numbers.
we've just disproved Benson maths.
You
We need
haven't.
a whole new thing.
Because
We
you said
need a
was
whole new
176
type of math
times
now.
500. So you can use other numbers. The equation part doesn't make a difference. The answer is always 10 or 5 sheep.
What is the half-life of,
Yeah,
lead?
of lead.
The answer to that
That's not,
is...
an equation. That's not an equation, though. That's just the fact.
How do you
that
work
the
out
two-
the half-life of lead? You'd use an equation.
You just know it because I put it on the periodic table.
Yeah, they write them all down
Yeah.
on the periodic table.
To be
That's
fair,
why it's covered in-
lead actually doesn't have a half-life. that's the irony here, I suppose. It's
Everything
radioactive.
has a half-life.
How does it? Is it carbon that's a half-life?
Everything has a
Well,
half-life.
there you go. So that could be another observation. But what I'm saying is maths is confusing because when you talk about it literally,
that's
like I just
different
did,
between maths is wrong.
Yeah, maths is very confusing.
It is
I'm
confusing.
on side.
which means
now.
it's
I'm on
wrong. If
side
it's
now.
confusing, it's wrong.
That doesn't mean it's wrong. Just because something's confusing
Yes, it does.
doesn't mean it's
Adam.
wrong.
No,
it doesn't.
The whole point of this segment isn't for you to disagree with me. The whole
Why?
point of it is because
Why
you
is
can't
it
disagree
not?
with my mind.
Why
I'm
can't I
letting people
disagree
know.
with your mind? Why can't I
How
not do that?
come you can disagree with the concept of maths, but we can't?
But we
Because
can't
it's my
disagree with
segment.
you. This is like, what's some crazy world where people can just go around going, what I say is right and everything else. Oh, wait, that's the world we live
I'm not
in.
saying it's right. I'm saying that's my observation.
Right, we've
Give
come
me a second.
to
Okay, do it then. That's fine.
we've come to the part of the podcast where Benson tries to stop me saying we've come to the part of the podcast.
It happens every
What's so
time.
important, Benson, that you need to do? Hydrating? Is that what you're doing?
I
You
need
think
to
it's important to hydrate,
I've got
dear?
water in
Is
my
Sam
nose.
not allowed to talk whilst you hydrate? Is that it?
Yeah,
we
no.
have to have a moment of silence because you're hydrating.
It's easier
Just give
to
me a
edit.
second while I hydrate, guys.
It's easier to edit if you haven't got the sound of glugging in it.
I mean,
Oh, I can take the glugging out. There's no problem with that. But I'm going to turn
there's
the
no
glugging up.
you're gonna
That's
fucking
all
be
anybody's
loud
gonna
Do you
hear.
want me to do a, do you want me to do a
Glugging.
nice capture for you?
ASMR.
Let's do a proper. Don't do a fake glug.
That's a
Everybody
fake.
will know
Everyone
that
knows
it's
it's
a
a
fake.
All
fake.
right, I'll do a
glug.
proper
God.
one. I'll do
Just
a
glug
proper one.
normally. How are we going to upload that to Free Sound as part of the KRP Master Effects Library?
The
Master
glug.
Effects like.
That's what it is.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've got the arid landscape bird of prey on there, as
Is that on
demonstrated by
there now?
Benson right now. There you go.
There it
We've got
is.
the breast augmentation sound effect.
And the breast dementation, deaugmentation.
Dementation. That's true. We have.
What else have we got?
And now we've got the Benson glug, the Benso glug.
The Benso Glug 3000.
Benzo glug sounds like a cleaner, doesn't it? Like a drain cleaner. You need Benzo glug. 30 seconds and your pipes are gone.
Literally, the most corrosive thing you've ever bought.
30 seconds and your pipes are shafted.
Let
we're
Benson
shafting the
shaft
pipe.
your pipes.
Significantly shafted. What a card.
Shafts 25% more than any other.
Have you tried shafting your pipes unsuccessfully? What you need is Benzo glug.
Inspired by a 1970s classic.
Right, we've come to the part of the podcast now where I'm going to give you a story, a little news story.
You seem
It's-
very unsure of that then.
Yeah, I am a bit unsure. It's a bit macabre this
God.
week. So my story is from Brazil. We don't get many stories from Brazil, do we?
We get loads. What are you on
We've
about?
got loads from Brazil.
Oh shit, sorry.
Like pretty much all of our stories are from Brazil.
Yeah, like every week we
90%
have a
from Brazil.
That is actually where the main ingredients for Benzo glug comes from.
Brazil.
Brazil.
Just all of Brazil.
Well,
Just chunks of Brazil. You
Just take chunks.
chip a little bit of Brazil
it's a
off.
big
That's a
country,
bit
so it's going to take a
offensive.
while.
It is a big country. That's true.
Apparently, it's
yeah.
a very corrosive country.
So the story is as such: woman wheeled dead man into bank and tried to get him to take out £2,000 loan.
£2,000 in Brazil? I call bullshit.
Did she like stand there poking him, going, "Take out the loan, take out the
Pretty
loan,
much.
It's like,
Pretty
dude,
much.
take out the loan, do something."
It's like Ferris Bueller, this.
It's like fucking
Weekend at Bernie's.
Weekend at Bernie's.
It's a pretty horrible story, but yeah, just the whole
So,
idea of
wait,
it
so-
just amused me.
She took him in. Did she
In a wheelchair.
Weekend at Bernie's
Wheeled
him?
She took him in and
Right.
she tried to get the loan in his name, and
Pretending
obviously
he
his
was
head's
alive.
yeah, his head's flopping all over the place. And she's trying to get him to hold the pen to sign the paper, and she's talking to him all the time. So she said she's holding his head upright with one hand, and then holding his hand on the pen with the other hand. And she said, apparently, "Uncle, are you listening? You have to sign it. I can't sign for you."
She
so
speaks
she's
quite
talking
good English
to this,
for a
this
Brazilian.
corpse.
And the fact
Well,
that
do
she
you
has
want
it
me
in
to
say-
pounds.
Do you want me
She
to say it in
sounds like-
Portuguese for
Yes,
you? Would that be
please.
better?
Yeah,
Oh.
definitely.
Uncle, listening, cara de design is very brilliant.
You can't just make up Portuguese like that, Sam.
Oh, I can, and I just did.
It sounded very convincing, though. That was good, that.
That shit happened. That shit happened. So,
so she's...
it's just the idea of the teller being like,
something's off
he can't have a loan because he's dead.
I think he's dead,
like,
love, you know.
He's not dead. He's just sleeping. He's always like this.
In fact, it's a complete flip from Monty Python.
It is, yeah,
and the woman's going like talking out the side of her mouth. I'm not dead.
She may as well have had her hand up his ass trying to ventriloquist.
I think she knew. Did she know he was
Pipe
dead?
checking.
Did she know he, or was she just like completely lost?
Why only go for 2,000 as well? There's so many questions.
She absolutely knew he was dead. So my questions are. Apparently, she was the niece of this guy. That's not confirmed at the moment, but initial sources suggest that they were related. So has she planned this for a long time and thought as soon as he pops his clogs, I'm going to take him into that bank and I'm going to get him to get a loan out and I'm going to have that loan? Or has she caused the death for the same reason? Because she's like, oh, I really want to take Uncle Brazil into the bank and get me some money.
Uncle Brazil?
Or would she just be an opportunist? Which is like, oh no, my uncle's dead. How sad.
I mean, did she not think he was in like online banking?
There's a fourth. There's a
fourth option. What's the fourth option?
She might have planned to go and get a loan with him, and then he suddenly died the day before.
On
And
the
she was
way?
like, shit, I need to still take him. I still need his loan.
Or she might not have known. He could have died on the way into the bank.
Yeah.
And then, but
she's propping up his head.
Yeah, but she might have to do
Well,
that
maybe
anyway.
she thought, oh, he's just fucking having a hard time with his head.
She might have had to do that anyway.
We don't call him Uncle Floppy Head for no reason, you know.
We don't call him
floppy header.
Uncle Weak Neck for nothing.
Weak neck at Bernie's.
I don't get why you just go for £2,000 in a Brazilian bank. Like,
well, that question makes me think maybe there was some truth in the fact that the loan was already agreed, and they're like, "Oh shit, he's died, but we could really do with this money. I'll try. I'll just throw him in a chair.
I have a cunning plan."
Well, I guess there is the fourth option there, then, isn't there? But I'm interested to know what would happen. But I've seen the video of it, so the
There's
the
a
people,
video.
Well, yeah, the tellers.
The internet just gets worse every day.
The people in the bank got concerned and were like, there's something dodgy here. So they started filming it.
That's what you do when you're concerned about something that's going on. Whip phone out, film it. Don't
Absolutely
do something.
Doesn't the bank have
I might
CCTV?
get some sweet likes for this. Yeah, the bank had CCTV.
I'm going to put this
as well.
on Instagram. It's going to be great.
Yeah, so they've checked the CCTV cameras inside and outside to see if she was on her own or there was other people there with her, to see if it's some kind of elaborate fraud operation. But she's urged him to sign, and she said to him, "Stop giving me a headache." Like, that's the worst of your fucking problem. Stop giving me a headache and just sign the bloody form. Yeah, and the bank worker has said, "I don't think this is legal."
They all speak very good English.
They do.
Non legality. So he said, "I don't think this is
The bank
legal."
teller's Italian.
He doesn't look very well. That's what he said next. So I don't think this is legal. He doesn't look very well. Prompting Erica, that was her name, to reply, "He's like that. He's just like that. You know?
That. Dead.
Uncle Floppy Head.
Dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's dead.
He's so dead.
He's just
such a
like
card.
that. He's just like
Such
that.
a card. He just pretends to be dead all the time. Come on, Uncle. Stop pretending to be
he's such
dead."
a dead pretender.
And then she's threatening him. She's threatening the corpse, saying, "If you're not well, I can take you back to the hospital. Do you want to go back to the hospital again? Do you? Do you, Uncle Dead Person?
You sign this loan or I'll kill you."
Oh, shit. That's an empty threat. I mean, yeah, I'll kill him. Yeah, I'll kill him so good.
This is something that's happened before, though. I swear this happened in the UK at one point. Someone took their dead uncle, like an Irish thing, maybe.
Well, you're absolutely right. That was Declan Horney.
Horny?
All right.
Right, now I've said that. I just read that out and I was like,
time, did you?
It's got Haughgney. That's got to be Horny, right?
Yeah. That is
Oh,
horny.
maybe Hoffney. Maybe Hoffney.
Oh,
Don't ruin it down.
It's Hoff. No, it's horny. It's horny. It's definitely horny.
Declan Horney and Gareth Coakley were sentenced to 18 months in prison for exactly this. They dragged the body of 66-year-old Peter Doyle,
Pedo.
who who had a hat on. It mentions that. And they dragged him
Had a
into the
hat
post
on.
office.
Dragged
Dragged him into
him?
a post office to try and claim his pension. Absolute
See,
bastards.
there you go. I
They,
knew it
they
had
didn't
happened.
even bother with a wheelchair.
They just dragged him.
They just
They
dragged
just
him in.
fucking, they just chuck him on the counter as well. He wants his fucking pension.
He's fine. He's just drunk. He's just very drunk.
You imagine
He just
if
wants
this,
his pension fine.
imagine if this.
What's
you
your
know,
name?
This woman,
Declan Harney.
imagine this woman who in Brazil.
That's a fake
she'd, like,
name.
she'd put the plan together, right? So planned it all to a T, and then missed one crucial step at the end. So then she's wheeling the coffin into the bank.
He's alive, I swear.
He's definitely not dead. He's just sleeping in his wooden bed.
He's a vampire.
It's amazing the extents that people would significantly go to get money.
This feels like a story that would be due a follow-up at some point, so...
Yeah,
When I
turns out
find
he's
out some
alive.
more-
Uncle Weakneck's alive. My God.
He woke up 2 hours later.
He woke up
I
dead.
did want that loan, yeah.
Going, where's my bloody loan, you bitch?
I told her to just sign it if I fell
Oh.
asleep.
Smacking her about. I tried, but they thought you were dead.
Imagine the compensation claim you'd get from a bank for that.
Maybe it'd be about $2,000.
Have you been refused a loan because the bank teller thought you were dead? Call us free on 0800 648 978.
This is because we had a story about someone who was announced dead. Who the fucking
Yeah.
I brought that story, didn't I? That dude who'd gone on a
Canadian-
hiking
the
trip,
Canadian
gone on
to-
holiday and came back.
Maybe they
and it was-
confused the two. Maybe
and
the
this-
records
maybe
got
it's-
lost in the post. or
Maybe it's like a
something.
pandemic. Maybe it is. So it could be a thing. Set up a call center, ring some people. Have you been confused as dead?
And it's the end of the episode. Bye.
Over the episode. Bye.
He's so desperate for us not to interrupt him. It's like, I'm going to end it right here.
It's gone. It's dead. Bye, everyone. See ya. Now we've come to the end of another episode of Killer Rabbit Podcast. Thanks for staying with us. We appreciate it very much.
Boo, it's rubbish. No. When will we be back? Oh my God. How do I get in
Well,
touch?
We'll probably be back next week. if
Really? That never happens.
form is anything to go by. We've gone beyond a year, haven't we? We went past the year
We
mark.
celebrated
Did
that.
we talk
though.
about that?
We did talk
Oh,
about
did
that.
we?
We talked about it twice, actually, didn't we?
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Well, if you missed the last two episodes, we've gone
Oh, no,
past
we
the year
didn't.
now.
We talked about
Well done
episode
us.
50 twice. We talked about episode 50 twice. That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Not episode 52 twice.
We've gone beyond a year on our triumphant return. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We appreciate it very much. If
Bye,
you would like to get
bye.
in touch with us, come and find us on the socials at
Yeah.
Killer Rabbit Pod.
Cass.
No,
Oh,
it's
wait.
not cast. You can't just say cast, Benson. No,
No, you can't drop cast in there.
I
That's
can.
Wrong.
I can if I want to.
That's wrong. That's
No, 'cause
the
then
wrong
people
way
won't
of
find us.
finding us.
Okay.
This was the week where droves of people were
Well,
going to
they-
actually
and
go
they just
online
typed it
to
in.
interact with us. They've gone at Killer Rabbit Podcast. They're like, this doesn't exist. And they're like, oh, I had so many interesting
Benson,
things to
you've
share with
ruined it.
with my favourite podcast. I've waited a year to share something with them.
This
and now
was
I
the
can't find them
episode. I was
online.
gonna do it. Now you've just fucked it.
So just
Benson,
clarify it again. Where do they find us?
they've already gone.
They can find us. Yeah, they've already missed. They've missed
We've missed the
out.
opportunity.
But it's very
now.
confusing because we are Killer Rabbit Podcast, but
At gmail.com.
At Gmail, that's the full podcast name. That Killer Rabbit Podcast at gmail.com, live on Spotify. But
But the socials are Killer Rabbit Pod. It's so confusing,
the
isn't
media,
it?
Pod's
Having
not the right-
cast at the end for an email address, but just pod for social. Oh my God, how would
should
we
we start
ever
a new
remember that?
email at Killer Rabbit Pod called Killer Rabbit Pod at
Do you know how much? Do you understand how much hassle that would be?
you know?
it's too
Do you know
much
how
hassle.
much stuff we would have to change?
We won't have to change anything.
Oh,
We'll
we'd have to change.
We'd have it as a separate
Everything.
inbox. But I tell you
Buzzsprout,
what,
we'd have to say. Well, we
No, you
can't just
wouldn't.
make
No,
a second
everything- all of
inbox.
that's-
What we
all
gonna
of
do-
that's-
and then we'll have to check 2 inboxes, right? Who's going to monitor both inboxes? Do you know
because
how
people
much
send
mail we
us loads
get?
of stuff.
Yeah, we always get them stupid fake mails that say, "Hi, user."
Yeah.
Hi, user at Killer Rabbit Pod.
We've listened to your podcast and really enjoy the current affairs that you discuss and other such things that happen on your podcast, and we would like to collaborate. Please get in touch or tell us to
please.
go away. Oh, please.
If you would
Okay,
like to
so
get in touch,
They don't
or
fucking stop
collaborate,
either, do
then
they?
fuck
Do they?
you.
They never get the message.
No,
they
they
never
don't.
get the
But
message.
it's just badly worded, badly typed, with all the bits missing because the form's not worked. It's obviously.
I think we should start
spread
reading out these emails live.
It's just mad, and then you can tell they've never listened. It's bullshit. Yeah, we should. Maybe we should have a funny email. Oh, it's stupid.
Why don't they just tell the
pointless
truth
email.
and say, "Would you like to give us money for doing absolutely nothing?" Then please get back to us and tell us you would like to give us some money. For
You get an
doing
Indian
absolutely
baby certificate.
nothing. One of my favourite certificates.
You'll work so hard
Anywho.
to get it.
What's your top 10 certificates? I need a top 10 certificates now. If you've said that that's one of your favourite certificates, there's obviously more. You've implied.
On a future episode, I'll do my top 5 certificates. along
Top
to the
5,
side-
is that it?
to the sound
No.
of at the sign of the swinging cymbal, and you'll enjoy it very, very much.
Oh, that'd be
sure
good.
will.
That'd be good.
Bow, 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 bow. It's time for Sam's top 5 certificates.
And you know,
In
number
at
five.
5, it's the dolphin swimming certificate, of which I only got 3 because I can't
3?
swim very well.
Dolphin 3
Yeah.
was get into the pool.
Dolphin
And get out the
3
steps.
was look at the pool.
Yeah, that's good. It's not till Dolphin 5 where you need goggles, really.
Yeah. And I only got as far as Dolphin 3.
Oh,
Not
In
a
at-
good swimmer.
In at
Not
number
good.
4, it was
not a
Bravest
strong
Boy
swimmer.
getting shafted by Oompa Loompas.
Shafted up the pipe. Come on, say it properly.
Pipe shafted by Oompa Loompas.
Barely touched the sides. Anyway, let's fucking end this thing. This is silly. Stop it now.
This
This is my edit.
Are we
This is
allowed
my
to
edit.
Murph? Are we
The
allowed to
longer it
Murph
goes on,
again?
the more work I've got to do.
Now that we're at the end, what was the mirth level for this episode?
Yeah, how much mirth have we had?
Oh, I didn't check with our listener. Shouting out to our listener who was ill in hospital, but he's fine now. I
Excellent.
assume.
Good to hear.
You assume.
didn't cause
You,
any
you
internal
can't assume
bleeding.
that. Unless you know for
You can't
definite.
assume
You cannot
people
assume
are fine
somebody's
when they're
okay.
in hospital.
In fact, if
Yeah,
you've had
that
no
they're going,
contact,
oh, yeah,
that's even-
yeah. I'm not a doctor, but
Well-
they're fine.
Worst case scenario, I'm wheeling him into the bank.
Fair enough. Get a load for
We've
KRP.
got to get more than $2,000 though. Come on, let's try it. Go whole hog.
Yeah.
$2,000 don't buy you
But
shit
it's-
these days.
Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. Right, I am ending this thing though.
Why?
Find us online at killerrabbitpod. Email us at killerrabbitpodcast@gmail.com. Come and say hello. Share us stories, ideas for sections, anything you want,
Sexy
and we will read
sections.
them out and talk about it on the podcast because we like the interaction very much. Big shout out to everyone who does interact with us. You know who you are. I'm not going to sit here and name all the thousands of people that do say nice things to us. So yeah, I'm ending the podcast and I'm getting out of here. I've been Sam.
I've been Benson.
And I've been Adam.
Bye for now, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Love you, love you. Bye, 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 bye. Yeah.